here with Jordan Wirth, who is representing some OG High Rollers gear right here. But right now, he is here for PGF Season 8. And there was a guy, Zach Schneider, that brought your name up saying that you guys had a match before and is excited to see how that goes this time around.
Yeah, I hope I have a rematch with Zach. Me and him had a match once before over at Grappling. He beat me that day, so I would love to run it back with him. He's a submission artist. I'm a submission artist. He's exciting. I'm exciting. No matter what, the match is going to be fireworks. We also have history together. We used to train at the Sunday Open mat. He used to live back in Vegas, so me and him have had a lot of rounds. We have a lot of experience together, but only one match together. So I've got to get it back to at least 1-1, get my win back on him.
So he's a really nice guy, and you guys are friends, or when you went to Sunday Open mat, it was like me and you?
No, Zach's a good guy.
Tussle.
Zach's a really good guy. Nothing but respect and love to Zach. I was hanging out with him and my girlfriend, and him and his girlfriend were all hanging out in Mexico. We were we were helping each other and making sure that we were okay and good to go. So Zach's a great guy, and nothing but respect for him, so.
And recently it was your birthday. Usually you go to the Jake Shields classes. So what has it been like kind of transitioning your game from, you still train at 10th Pin a little bit, but transitioning that to what Jake is providing?
So I still represent 10th Planet. I'll always represent 10th Planet till I die. But I did get my black belt from Jake, and I do a lot of my training with Jake, and it's been excellent over there training with Jake. It's, I couldn't be happier. Jake's an excellent coach, and he trains with me every day. It's not just like he's teaching me, he's smashing me personally, and he's still rolling with all the pro fighters, all the top guys at Extreme Couture, and regularly smashing them. Jake's a monster. I got really blessed to getting taken under his wing.
So much wisdom from him for sure. And you also do little visits to Eddie Bravo.
Yeah, I go and see Eddie Bravo as regular as I can. Like you said, I was just out there for my birthday. It's always good training over at HQ. They have like really, really long rounds. I think they roll for like 8 minutes or 10 minutes, whereas other gyms usually only roll for 5 or 6. So it's good rounds. And Eddie's great. He stayed with me and jammed and played his music up until like 1 a.m., like 1:30 a.m. I was like, Eddie, man, I gotta go, bro. Like, it's too late. I had to tell him I have to leave. So, I had a great time over there, man. Yeah.
Yeah, those nights can definitely, when you're just jamming, like last forever. When it comes to this PGF season, what do you think about the durability aspect? This time, you're not going to have to do everything in 1 week. It'll be spread out, but 3 matches in 1 day.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be like how many, like 8 weeks of competition I was hearing, I think. Yeah. So there's going to be competitions every single week. I'm going to get out there and get to show my craft and get to show my skills. This is the exact type of platform that I've been looking for. So I'm stoked. The roster is stacked. There's a bunch of great competitors. Like you said, a couple guys that I need to get rematches on, a couple guys that would like rematches on me. So it's going to be competitive, exciting. And with it being every week, we get a little bit of time to recover and we get to go out there and be fresh and healthy. So it's going to be fireworks. I can't wait.
And if you have a favorite highlight of yourself, what is the match? If I can put B-roll over it, show the audience that represents, I feel like your funky style. Like Jordan Wirth Jiu-Jitsu is different.
I'm friends with the guy. It's a match against a guy named Jerry Shapiro. He's one of the coaches over at Syndicate. He's the head coach over at Syndicate MMA. Me and him had a match back in the day at High Rollers, and I got him in a buggy choke. It's like one of my classic matches. It would either be that one or my match at the first Cops versus Stoners at High Rollers. I heel hooked some cop that was like 238 pounds in like 28 seconds. And that was like what really kick-started me to competing all the time and really believing in myself and like got me established in the scene. So it'd be either one of those matches.
No way. I think I was there for both of them, but I know I was there for the cop one. So the fact that is what like kind of fueled you to be like, hey, let me pursue this as a competitor is so cool to me.
Yeah, that was a really cool, interesting day. It's High Rollers, so there's a lot of confusion, you can say, going around in the air.
It's very high energy too.
It is very high energy, but they told me originally, Cops versus Stoners, it's cops that actively do jiu-jitsu versus people who smoke weed and do jiu-jitsu, right? Yeah. They were like, hey, we've got a cop for you. He's 155 pounds, brown belt. And I'm like, okay, cool. What's his name? And they're like, don't worry about his name. Just show up and compete. I'm like, okay, cool. I show up to the venue and I'm like, all right, guys, who's my opponent? And they're like, here, come over here. And they take me over to the biggest guy in the venue. He's like 6'4", 238 pounds, brown belt, active duty cop. And they're like, I don't know what happened. I don't know how this happened, dude, but this is your opponent. Do you want it or not? And I'm like, well, I'm not going to back down, but this is kind of fucked up. Like, I'm allowed to cuss. I can cuss, right?
Yes.
it's kind of messed up, you know,
That
like
requires an
this
explanation.
guy's a brown belt active duty police officer and almost has 100 pounds on me. Like I'm not on paper, I'm not meant to win this match. So I went in there kind of doubt, like a little afraid, honestly. Like I don't want to lose to a cop. I have my own grievances towards police. You know, I wanted to have a good showing against them, show that I could beat a cop without that doesn't have his little Batman belt on, as I like to say. But he was bigger, and and so I went in there not really believing in myself, and I ended up submitting him in 28 seconds because I was a little nervous. And then I was like, wow, I can actually go out here and do this. I really like the feeling of going out and winning in competition. A lot of people liked the win. A lot of people were reaching out to me and made me really believe in myself and start my way into competing all the time. Yeah.
And for you, like, it's so surreal because high rollers are giving away a pound of weed, but now you're having tournaments.
They weren't when I started, but they used to. Yes.
And when CJI is giving out like huge paydays. So what is it like for you to be able to see jiu-jitsu at a certain point to where it is today?
It's been crazy. So when I first started in jiu-jitsu in 2012, like it was before Eddie versus Hoyler 2 happened, and everybody told me like, hey, don't do jiu-jitsu for the money. Like they still tell you that, and it's still not smart to do jiu-jitsu for the money. But now there's somewhat of an avenue. You know what I mean? Back in the day, there was no avenue really to make money as a professional jiu-jitsu grappler. It was only you had to start a school. Now there's ways for professional athletes in jiu-jitsu to actually make a career out of this. And so that's so exciting to see for me as a competitor, you know? I thought that I was just going to be doing jiu-jitsu and like compete here and there every once in a while and then eventually open up my school and just run my own school. But now there's competitions like CJI, like the PGF, like the ADCC. If you win that, you get some money too, you know? There's all these competitions that are paying their athletes real money. And so it's from that not happening to seeing it going on and just getting bigger and bigger and bigger every year is super exciting.
And the winner of last season was New Hope Regeneration that also gets stem cells. So do you think stem cells would be something you'd be interested in?
For sure. I could really use stem cells. So they tell me that I have 4 herniated discs in my neck, supposedly. They're like, hey man, like your neck's fucked up. You should be in excruciating pain. Like you should need neck surgery. But
it's because you invert a lot?
It happened after my car accident. I got in a really bad car accident, but I had like some sort of nerve damage going on in 2022 in the combat jiu-jitsu team duel. My whole like left side of my body wasn't really working. I couldn't fire my arm. I couldn't post on my arm. I had some sort of I don't know if you call it paralysis or what, but so that's why I got the MRI scheduled. And then I got in the car accident, and then the MRI results came back after the car accident. And they were like, hey, you're messed up. Like you should be in excruciating pain. You should need neck surgery. But how do you feel? And I'm like, I feel fine. Like I'm good to go. I'm not in pain. And they're like, all right, well, if you're not in pain, get out of here. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, thanks for scaring me.
Oh my God. What's this?
Thanks, doc.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Victor Hugo had a serious back injury and he still kind of works through it. But he thought after CJI, he wasn't like going to be competing again. I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's crazy. Sometimes different news that you can hear from doctors, and it's always good to get a second.
It was so cool that they did tell me to get out of there. You know what I mean? They were like, hey, looking at your MRI, you should need neck surgery. You should be in excruciating pain. But how do you feel? Yeah. A lot of doctors don't ask that. How do you feel? Yeah. A lot of doctors are like, oh, based on
that's what you feel, so you should be prescribed.
Based on your results, you need to be prescribed this and you need this surgery. They were like, well, how do you feel? I'm like, I feel great. They're like, okay, well, get out of here then. But just be careful. I was like, okay, I will.
And back into jiu-jitsu. And now we're here for PGF season 8. Him and I's ADHD just kind of went down the rabbit hole a little bit. But what can you expect from 2 former high rollers participants? Jordan, is there anything you want to let the fans know that they can expect for this season that you're looking to showcase?
A lot of rubber guard, a lot of 10th planet system. Hopefully I'll hit some twisters, some chuck entries, a lot of leg locks, buggy chokes, submissions that shouldn't be happening, like from the bottom mount, just a lot of unorthodox jiu-jitsu. I'm really excited to showcase what my style of jiu-jitsu is. And if I could describe it by one word, it would be unorthodox.
I love it. We can't wait to see it. And the PGF Season 8 draft is going to be June 25th. Coming up before you know it, so make sure you tune in live and free on YouTube every Wednesday.